Hi all. So in last video we have discussed about the partitions, like in topics, Kafka topics has two properties, partitions and replications. In last video we have discussed about the partition, and in this video we are going to discuss about the replications. So whenever we create a topic, we will write, while creating a topic, we'll write how many partitions we want for that topic and how many replications factor will be there. So what are replicas, replications and replication factor? We are going to discuss in this video today. So before going into these terms, I just want you to understand, like, why do we need replications, and replications of what? Replication of partitions. We need replications of partitions, and why do we need that? So this why we already had discussed, I guess, in almost all my videos. So again I'll explain you. Suppose I have this broker in Kafka cluster. This is broker 1, and in this broker I have one topic, and in this topic I have two partitions. These two partitions are there, and then suppose in a scenario like this, broker goes down. So now the issue arises, all the messages residing in this partitions, how they are going to be consumed now. Are they going to be retained, or is there any backup for it? The answer is no. So in order to overcome this problem, we need replications. Replications of what? Replications of partitions. And where do we need the replication of partitions? In another broker, so that if one broker is going down, another broker can contain the replications of partitions, so that the consumers can consume from these replications if this broker is not working. So I hope this is clear to you, that why do we need replications. Now let's come to the terms replicas, replications and replication factor. So we have a term as replicas. What are replicas? Replicas are, I can say that from my previous examples, that it's a backup of what? My partitions. So replicas are the backup of partitions. And suppose, so this is my Kafka cluster. And in Kafka cluster I have two brokers, broker B1, broker B2, and in this broker I have one topic. Here partition this are present, in that topic partition 0 and partition 1 are present. So we need to definitely create the replicas. The reason is very clear to all of you. So we will create the replicas here in another broker. So we have created the replicas of partitions. Now what happens is, these replicas are just the backup. They are just the backup and nothing else. Like, producers won't be producing messages to these replicas, and consumers won't be consuming messages from these replicas. They are just for backup. That's it. The main partitions are going to hold your messages, and from main partitions only your consumers are going to read your messages. For read and write operations, the actual partitions get used. The replicas does not get used. They are only for backup. Now you will say, then when does it comes into the picture? When we cannot read, when we cannot write. So okay, so suppose this broker goes down. Now these replicas will become the partitions only, actual partitions, because they have all the backup. We have one more term, in sync replica. We will discuss this in this lecture only. Just understand, in sync replica is basically tells us that all your partition and your replications all are in sync. Whatever the producers are producing the data into this partition, its backup is getting created at that time only. So these partitions are in sync. So that is in sync replica. So I was telling that when this broker goes down, this replicas will become the actual partitions. Now since these partitions are always in sync with your actual partitions, so now the producer will these replicas will act as a main partition, because you do not have any main partition now. It is lost. The broker is down and it is lost now. So your replicas will become the main partitions, and now read and write operations will follow into these partitions. So this is the whole process of replicas and read and write operations. And this process of replicas, of creating replicas, is known as replications. And when we say that I need replication factor as 2, it means that that my partition will have 2 replication factors. Like if this is my partition, replicas will be 2. 2 replicas will get created. So this is what the replication factor is. Now I will write one command of how we can create the topic with partitions and replications factor, and we'll understand, like in a broker of in a Kafka server of 3, how these partitions and replication factors are going to play. Okay, so we have this command with us for creating the Kafka topic with partitions and replications. So in order to create a topic, we always have to go the server file Kafka -topics. This is the server file which we have with us. Whenever we install the Kafka in our system, this file gets installed. So in order to create the topic, we have to go to this file. We have to use the bootstrap server, because topic will get created obviously in servers, in brokers, and it will be running in some port. So this is the port, and for creating the topic we use this --create -topic, your topic name, how many partitions you want, and the replication factors. So after this command will create the topic with 3 partitions and 2 replication factors. And when we use the command to describe our topic, like these, it will show this information. So partition 0, it will say the partition is partition 0, partition 1 and partition 2 will get created. Partition 0 will be present at 1. Leader 1, it means broker 1. It will be the leader in broker 1. So partition 0 will be present in my broker 1, and it will be the leader in my broker 1. Then its replicas will be in 1 and 2. In 1 it is present, and in 2 its replicas. Then partition 1 will be present in second broker, where it is acting as a leader. So here the partition 1 will be present, and its replicas will be in 2 and 3. This replicas is automatically done by this command. So its replicas will be in 2 and 3. And here partition 2 will be the leader of broker 3, and its replicas will be present in 3 and 1. And in sync replicas tells us about that all the partitions are in sync with, like this one and 2 are in sync with each other. Then here 2 and 3 are in sync with each other. Here 3 and 1 are in sync with each other. So whatever the message is getting into this partition, the fetching request is happening, and this replica is creating the is having the same message which this partition is having. So they always remain in sync with each other. So this is all about the partitions and replications factor, how they play an important role in our topics, and how they are very useful in Kafka. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.